See if I can get this up here and see if I held this up like this, would they be able to see it? I don't know. I guess I'll be able to tell here momentarily. Hey everybody, here I am with another video. This is Glenn, last of the boomers, and today I am going to take on Omaha Introvert Hannah's 1,000 subs contest. Say that 3 times really fast. Yeah, so Hannah has risen to stardom in the vinyl community in a year, I guess. I'm thrilled because I knew her way back before I even knew she was a star, but 1,000 subscriptions, that sounds pretty amazing to me. And I think something that most of us can only dream of ever getting. So congratulations, Hannah. And to answer your questions, I'm going to start from the bottom and go up here, I guess. And at least as far as, wait, let me say that again. So I'm answering your 3 women question. Who are my 3 women musicians? And I'm actually going to give you 4 instead. So consider 3rd place a tie, I guess. And I should say, little hint here, I will be making a video that includes these same 4 women, and that's part of why I picked them, but they really are up there as my top 4, I would say. So number 3A is going to be Joan Jett. I don't see how anybody can deny her. She's amazing to have lasted as long as she has, and to have done everything apparently on her own terms. And you know, I kind of went back and forth between Joan and Hart, both women and Hart, because they made it in a man's world. And like I say, I want to go into that more later on in a different video. So I won't say too much about it here, but in the end, I think Joan just did things her own way and continues to do them her own way. And man, in some ways, I think she's the female version of Keith Richards. Yeah, I don't think there's any denying her. Next one, 3B, is Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes. She's awesome. She's a great guitar player, great front woman, great singer, great songwriter. I mean, she's got all the tools, and I just love her to death. So she's going to be 3A. Then moving up to number 2, got mentioned in the Happy Hippies video as well, as one of the concerts I saw, the one I went the furthest to see. She's someone that's been a heartthrob of mine forever. This would be, when I say forever, it's going back to the 90s at least. She probably comes as close to the person that I have all of the CDs of anybody. Yeah, except maybe number 1. And her name is Sue Foley. She's a blues artist, great guitar player, and just attacks the music with gusto. She's great. You really kind of have to hear her, see her, and you know, can I just take a minute to gripe here? This thing about not being able to put clips in these videos is stupid. I don't understand why anyone would object to free advertising. I mean, you know, what am I doing other than advertising for Sue Foley or anyone else that I'm mentioning here? Why I can't play a little clip of her music so that I can show you what she sounds like? I don't know. It's stupid. Okay, end of rant. Number 1 is Melody Gardot, and I don't know how she isn't on top of the world musically, because she sure is on top of the world as far as I'm concerned. Just an absolutely gorgeous voice. I really recommend that you get the album. Actually, it's a 3-album set that came out this year, live in Europe. And when you do, pay special attention to the track called "The Rain." That's my favorite by far, but the whole album set is great. But where I was going with "The Rain" is just some of the stuff she does vocally is incredible. I sat my daughter down to listen to it. She's a pretty gifted musician, and was having nitpicking this and that and so on. And then we got to the end of it, and there were the applause, and Abby just kind of went pale, not realizing that it had been a live album all along. And that's, as I said in another video, you'll hear from me a lot of times, I want to hear what the musicians sound like. I want to know whether they can really play and sing and stuff. And let me tell you, Melody Gardot is the real thing. So that's my 3. Now moving on to genres. First one I want to talk about a little bit is trad jazz. And again, I don't know. I guess it's one I can probably find stuff in the public domain to play a little bit for you. If you know, Louis Armstrong, okay? Some of you might know Louis Armstrong. He would be a trad jazz player. If you said trad jazz is Dixieland, you'd be close, but you'd be wrong. Actually, Dixieland is trad jazz, but trad jazz has other stuff going on besides Dixieland. Ragtime might fit into trad jazz too. It's a pretty broad category, but yeah, it's one we'll explore on this channel. So that's one subgenre. The other one I think I'd like to talk about at some point is jump blues. Jump blues, I guess rockabilly would be its closest cousin. And I think sometimes you get into kind of splitting hairs as to what falls where and so on. So like Louis Prima, Cab Calloway, I mean, they're some of the originators. They're the real beginnings of jump blues. But then you get up to like a Jerry Lee Lewis, who's considered, I don't know, everything from country to rockabilly, I guess. I think a lot of his work would be categorized as jump blues. Even you get up all the way to Stray Cats, and yeah, people call them rockabilly, and a lot of their stuff I'd say is rockabilly. But there's a lot of stuff that's pretty jump blues too. And I mean, all these things, it's like, I don't even know why we try and differentiate between them. But if you think blues that has been given a mild amphetamine or something, to wake it up some, then you've got jump blues. It's generally happy music. It's some of the music that came out of the roadhouses and so on. So it's pretty authentic. It's part of where Elvis got his style, although I can't really say I remember where Elvis did anything that I would truly call jump blues. Anyway, so those are my 2 categories. And then what else? Did we have one other one? Oh, yeah. I can't show this to you. I guess I'm going to have to find a picture to put up here like I do with the artists and so on. The piece of equipment that I wanted to talk about is my phone, because I use it for streaming all the time. And the reason I can do that is, number one, it's not an iPhone and doesn't have a headphone jack. But number 2, it's an LG. Mine is a V30, but you can go down to the V20. And I think the newest one is V35. Might be V40, I don't know. But at any rate, at this point, at this moment still, LG is putting incredible hardware into their phones for audio, and as far as I know, they're the only ones doing it. So the DACs, digital to analog converters, are way better than most phones have, and they've got a pretty decent amplifier in there too, so that if you've got some kind of hard to drive headphones, this phone comes about as close as any. I guess to give you an idea how good it is, if I'm playing stuff on my stereo and for whatever reason my laptop's not hooked up or something, I will have no hesitation about putting my phone into the aux jack and listening that way, because I think the DAC in the phone is as good as any of the half dozen standalone DACs that I have. You know, now, I mean, my system isn't any great shake, so I probably am missing a lot of the detail, but it sounds pretty good, folks, and my phone is no slouch on it. So LG V30, you're my bud. All right, Hannah, I think that's it. I think I did it. I think I got through yet another video. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and subscribe, and Hannah, congratulations, and we'll see y'all later. Bye.
We got fun.